Yo, what's poppin'? I'm back at it. This is Unseen, music producer, mix engineer. Thanks for checking me out, man. To everybody that's been liking the videos I've done and subscribing, just know that I have a whole lot more content that's to come, not only around hip-hop conversation, because I've been part of this culture for quite some time, but also I'm going to be doing stuff to help a lot of artists and a lot of people who actually want to be a part of creating and making this music. All right, so look out for that. But first and foremost, I just want to talk about a perspective about this greatest battle that I think we ever witnessed. Seriously, this is the greatest one because of the tools that's available and being engaged in it. I think it's made it so great. But one of the biggest part of this battle, somebody besides Drake and Kendrick that has been a big part of it, is DJ Akademiks. First and foremost, hats off to Akademiks for being a pioneer and a trailblazer and helping evolve platforms where the people who like the music and enjoy it can become the critic, not only just a critic, but provide the commentaries and really share perspective on it, right? That's became a big part of the culture. I wouldn't say he's the sole person who started it, but I think he really took that and ran with it and pretty much owned it. So hats off to him for doing that. But I have to say something else, a different perspective when it comes to this whole situation is that I think Akademik is toxic to this culture. Yes, Akademik is toxic to hip hop culture. And I mean that from the perspective that I think he has limited understanding, but more so he's too radical about his perspective. I will see Akademik as the ultimate fanatic. And once he chooses that angle for any artist that he support, he's unable to see things objectively. Like, this dude just cannot see something and see it for what it is. And I'm gonna share a video to share what I'm saying or to help support what I'm saying so you can get the point.
Kendrick gets the better of this. I'm gonna get upset at Kendrick that if you're this good, if you're this guy who's even better than the guy who I really like, you show up once every 5 years.
Notice his premise is that no matter how good Kendrick is, he has an issue with that because he likes somebody else so much better that he can't fathom that Kendrick can objectively be greater at who he likes. And that matters for Akademik to say, because Akademik, again, he's somewhat the voice of this type of culture. And it's a culture who doesn't really know hip hop. They only learning it as they go through the internet, and now it's become the center of the culture, right? So that's very interesting, and it's something that holds a lot of weight for him to be saying that. But I get it. It is what it is. But let me play some more.
I'm gonna get upset at Kendrick that if you're this good, if you're this guy who's even better than the guy who I really like, you show up once every 5 years. You don't put out music. You're not ever president of music. Like, that create a disdain for like, bruh, you don't deserve the title of being king if you think that you just get to sit on that throne and not be able to do what I do like about Drake. He did the that if you're king, you got to do. He accepted every challenger. He tried to help young coming up. He tried to be president. When I said, what top 5 you smoking on? I don't think you've been president in this culture, my But if we gotta go 5 years without hearing from you, it bothers me. I don't think you're that busy. I don't think your family life is that much. So when I got a who's been playing that role all along, and if you're better than him, we'll do the he's doing times 10. It bothers me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is just weird. This is very weird. But notice something. Notice how emotional he got, because everything he's saying right there is pretty much nonsense. Really, it really is. But first and foremost, that energy is coming from the fact that Akademik was Drake's personal spokesperson in this battle. And he had a great angle that he was trying to help push the narrative for Drake to win this. And what you're realizing is he's upset because he took a loss in this. This is his personal loss. It's making him look not credible for taking such a stance or having a one side But now he has to concede to the perspective that everybody see Drake as king. But now here's the problem, right? Again, Akademik is the ultimate fanatic. His commentary is not about really understanding hip hop for what they do, for what it is, the art form that I'm referring to. Akademik is more about the just being as radical as possible to every situation that he has a personal connection to, be it the war in Chirac, right? The tea and things of that nature that he, that also help his platform move in traffic, right? And that's perfectly fine. But what I'm saying is this: Akademik is not focused on the art. Notice his expression is about the sports aspect of this. But this is the guy who's the most influential voice currently in the culture. So I see that as a toxic aspect of it because it's not helping the art form. The art form does not benefit from academics. It doesn't. The culture does. It helps keep it active. It help bring a lot of people around to be engaging. But a lot of his supporters are kids and people who's just learning about the culture, who's just getting out there to it. So I think a lot of what he does, it is what it is. He's free to do it, right? This ain't a movement to help stop academics, but I just really think that people really need to catch on to what he's doing at this point. I understand people who's more evolved and more developed are not really necessarily taking academics' word as gospel to how they should understand this. But because he keeps up with those people more than anything, people go to him to get the latest or information they might have missed. So I really think that's the key thing too, why people really tune into him. But for the most part, I really think Akademik just is not benefiting the culture much. Well, excuse me, I think he's benefiting the culture in an aspect of keeping people engaged with it, but the culture is not, or the art form, let me rephrase that, the art form is not benefiting from academics because of how he sees it and his outlook on it. You know what I mean? He lacks, he's very deficient in being objective. I mean, like, oh man, he's very immature when it comes to having a balanced perspective. It's not necessarily childlike, but he's just never evolved. It's just this extreme fanatic angle, right? So that's just my take on that. Y'all let me know if y'all agree with that I think Akademik is toxic to the culture in one way, and the art form does not benefit from him with the way that he engages and treats it, so to speak. You know what I mean? But anyway, look, I'm gonna leave with this. At the end of the day, this is what matters. Not Like Us. Let's go.
Not Like Us is currently spinning everywhere in
check
LA
out Joe
right
Budden
now
and
people are dancing. It's a steppers record. You get out there and you do your thing. Is that record gonna go up all summer long?
This record is a damn hit, man. Period. Like, this is a banger all the way around. Salute to Kendrick for this, man. By the way, Kendrick numbers is up everywhere. Like, all of his old catalogs up by damn near 50%. I mean, he's killing Drake charting. I think he's supposed to chart it with the top two songs on will be Euphoria and Not Like Us. And Like That is still on there. I mean, he's really bodying Drake, and Drake pour him. Drake is officially getting the Ja Rule treatment. Respect to Ja Rule from my neighborhood Queens, but at the end of the day, that's just the history. You know what I mean? But I'll close out with this, man. I think this was also Drake's misstep, and this is very profound. And I try to tell people in a recent video how Kendrick sees Drake and Drake not being part of the culture, and that makes him move differently. A lot of people that, think I was trying to say like he can't partake in it. That's not the case, but Drake has a different background and he doesn't understand us. Yes, there's a us aspect to this, but I'll let this speak for itself.
In this battle right here, you have Drake, who obviously thought Kendrick was an easy mark. Obviously, for some reason, I do. I don't think he took Doc seriously because I think that Drake, the reason why I don't think Drake took Doc seriously is because I think Drake has a low cultural IQ. And so what he doesn't understand is that when you walking at a protest march and All Right is playing, that never leaves you.
You may not get it, but when Kendrick said I'm what the culture feeling, you have to think about moments like this and how he impacts the culture. This is why there's a shift. You know what I mean? And that's why Drake lost. He doesn't understand the culture as much as Kendrick does, and Kendrick is rooted in it. You can see this. I'm out.
Unseen.